World 16-foot Skiff Championship was raced between 1971 and 1975 and cemented the club's reputation for hosting major sailing events. The championship evolved from the successful Champion of Champions series, which brought together the top 16-foot skiffs from across the nation in a winner-take-all match race series. Tubby and crew sailed Gateway to a win in the 1967 series. Their great rivals Minx from Middle Harbour won in 1968 before Gateway saluted again in 1969. The inaugural World Championship Series in 1971 built upon the theme of the Champion of Champions series, with international skippers invited to compete. New Zealander Neville Paul and California's Bob Kettenhoffen headed the overseas contingent. Gateway's consistency of a first, second and third placing saw Tubby and crew win the title by 34 points from Minx, with Neville Buckley's Julianne Kay 8 points adrift in third. The 1972 series was opened by America's Cup skipper Jim Hardy and saw Bob Kettenhoffen return from the US for another crack at the title, along with New Zealanders Don Lidgard and the UK's Bob Hoare. Belmont's John Moore introduced a high-aspect rig on New Romp which proved perfect for the light weather. John dominated the series and won the championship. Belmont's domination ended at the 1973 series with former World Moth Class champion David Mackay skippering Imperium to a win for the St George Sailing Club. The series saw increased international representation, with Mark Hughes from the US, Peter Rousel from the UK, Germany's Julie Liebor and New Zealand's Bruce Farr competing. September 1974 saw the championship trophy once again travel down the M1, with reigning Australian champion Graham McKellar sailing McKellar Sails to the series win. First prize was a colour television set. The McKellar household had to wait 6 months before it was of any use, as colour transmission didn't start until March 1975. Speaking of 1975, the trophy came back to Belmont after Gary Brunnage's skippered Vickers Shondell to the win. The championship came down to the last windward leg of the final heat. Aside from the skiffs, the club's hosted world championships for other classes: the 420s, the contenders, the Moth class, and the OK dinghies. Belmont was first awarded the Australian Championship for the 1971-72 season, which coincided with the club's 50th anniversary. Gateway went into the championship in a rich vein of form, having won the World and New South Wales Championships earlier in the season. Tubby and his crew of Peter Harrison, Ron Davies, Ren Timmins and a young bloke by the name of Scott Sherry would claim the title. Jack Cassidy and his crew aboard Evelyn were runners-up, with the 18-year-old Gary Brunnages steering Shondell into third place. 20 years later, and both Gary and Scott were back, and along with Andrew Buchan had Beechwood Homes too well prepared for the 1991-92 series, having won the New South Wales Championship on the same course a couple of months earlier. Beechwood Homes too edged out Castrian Homes in the final heat to win the title. Castrian Homes finished second overall to give Belmont an Australian Championship quinella. The turn of the century, and following an illustrious career in the Cherub class, twins John and Gary Boyd combined with Mick Jackson to sail Skilled Engineering to victory in the 2000-2001 season. They didn't just win the championship, they smashed the result with 5 heat wins. Alas, subsequent home series haven't been as successful on the water for the club, with Sydney Skiffs dominating. Fluid Building Services won the 2010 championship. Belmont's Mitre 10 Curry was runner-up. The 2015 series saw Bryden's Lawyers claim the silverware, with Belmont's AB Windows Fashion second, and last year it was Ronston that won the series, with Insight Building Services Our Best placing 6th overall.